Welcome to What Longs. This is the official Week 10 recap, where we reveal the answers to Season 1 questions from question 60 through question 66. Are you ready to join the 7% club? Then let's see how many you got right. Only 7% of people get this right. What is the smallest penguin species? Is it A, the emperor, B, the little blue, C, the Adelie, or D, the chinstrap? Comment your answer below. It's not the Adelie penguin. Even though they're one of the smaller Antarctic species, they still stand around 2 feet tall. They're quick, energetic, and iconic, but not anywhere near the smallest penguins on Earth. It's not the chinstrap penguin. Named for the thin black line under their chin, they're slightly taller and heavier than Adelies. They're incredibly common, but their size puts them in the mid-range for penguin species. Think you're 7% club material? Subscribe and prove it tomorrow. And it's not the emperor penguin. In fact, they're the largest penguins in the world. Emperor penguins can reach almost 4 feet tall and survive brutal Antarctic winters by huddling together. Impressive, but the opposite of today's answer. The correct answer is the little blue penguin, also known as the fairy penguin. They're the smallest penguins on the planet, standing just 12 inches tall and weighing around 2 pounds. Found along the coasts of Australia and New Zealand, these tiny penguins are fast swimmers, noisy at night, and incredibly popular with visitors because of their adorable size. Missed this one? Catch today's question. Links pinned in the comments. Remember, if you don't comment your answer for the current short before the next short is released, we can't count it. So don't just think it, comment, and join the 7% club. Only 6% of people get this right. Mount Everest borders which 2 countries? Is it A, Nepal and China, B, India and Nepal, C, Bhutan and China, or D, Tibet and Nepal? Comment your answer below. It's not India and Nepal. Even though India sits close to the Himalayan range and many Everest expeditions launch from nearby regions, the mountain itself is not on the India-Nepal border. Everest is part of a different boundary line in the Himalayas. It's not Bhutan and China. Bhutan is also home to towering Himalayan peaks, but the country's tallest mountains lie further east. The Everest region doesn't extend into Bhutan's borders, so this pair isn't the right match. Think you're 7% club material? Subscribe and prove it tomorrow. And it's not Tibet and Nepal, because Tibet isn't a sovereign country. It's an autonomous region of China. So while Tibet and Nepal is often used informally in climbing culture, it's not the correct geopolitical answer for our question. The correct answer is Nepal and China. Mount Everest sits directly on the border between Nepal to the south and China's Tibet Autonomous Region to the north. Climbers can reach the summit from either side, and both countries recognize the shared boundary at the very top of the world. Missed this one? Catch today's question. Links pinned in the comments. Did you get it right? Only correct comments left before the next short is released counts toward the 7% club, so don't miss your shot to join the 7% club. Only 5% of people get this right. Who won the Battle of Hastings in 1066? Is it A, Harold Godwinson, B, William the Conqueror, C, Edward the Confessor, or D, Richard the Lionheart? Comment your answer below. It's not Richard the Lionheart. He lived centuries later during the Crusades and ruled England in the late 1100s. He's one of the most famous English kings, but he had nothing to do with the battle that changed England in 1066. It's not Edward the Confessor. He was the king before the battle, and his death is actually what sparked the conflict. Multiple claimants fought for the throne after he died, but Edward himself never fought at Hastings. Think you're 7% club material? Subscribe and prove it tomorrow. And it's not Harold Godwinson. He was the Anglo-Saxon king who defended the English crown, but he was defeated on the battlefield. According to legend, he was struck in the eye with an arrow, and his loss ended Anglo-Saxon rule. The correct answer is William the Conqueror. In 1066, William, Duke of Normandy, won the Battle of Hastings and became the first Norman king of England. His victory reshaped English culture, language, and politics for centuries. The event is so important it marks the end of one era and the beginning of another in British history. Missed this one? Catch today's question. Links pinned in the comments. We had some great guesses this round, but if you didn't comment, it doesn't count. No comment means no recognition. Want your name in the 7% club next week? You know what to do? Only 4% of people get this right. What does a Geiger counter detect? Is it A, heat, B, radiation, C, pressure, or D, sound? Comment your answer below. It's not sound. Even though Geiger counters make the famous clicking noise, that sound is only a signal produced by the device itself. The clicks aren't what it's detecting, they're just how it alerts you to something else entirely. It's not pressure. Geiger counters don't measure air pressure or physical force. They aren't used for weather, altitude, or mechanical stress. Their purpose has nothing to do with how much force is applied to an environment or object. Think you're 7% club material? Subscribe and prove it tomorrow. And it's not a heat. These devices don't measure temperature or thermal changes. They won't register hot surfaces, cold environments, or any kind of heat transfer. They're designed for something far more specific and far more dangerous. The correct answer is radiation. A Geiger counter detects ionizing radiation, like alpha, beta, and gamma particles. When radiation hits the gas inside the tube of the device, it creates an electrical pulse, and that pulse becomes the click you hear. It's a crucial tool in nuclear science, medicine, and safety. Missed this one? Catch today's question. Links pinned in the comments. Remember, if you don't comment your answer for the current short before the next short is released, we can't count it. So don't just think it, comment, and join the 7% club. Only 3% of people get this right. Which TV series had a coffee shop called Central Perk? Was it A, The Office, B, Seinfeld, C, Friends, or D, How I Met Your Mother? Comment your answer below. It's not The Office. The characters spend most of their time at Dunder Mifflin or Chili's, not in a dedicated coffee shop. The show's humor comes from awkward workplace moments, not cozy cafe hangouts. So this one isn't the right answer. It's not Seinfeld. The gang usually meets at Monk's Cafe, a classic New York diner, not a coffee shop with a quirky name. They're always sitting in the booth debating life's small details, but Central Perk isn't part of their world. Think you're 7% club material? Subscribe and prove it tomorrow. And it's not How I Met Your Mother. That group spends most of their time at McLaren's pub, not a coffee shop. It's where their major plot lines unfold, from breakups to legendary stories, but Central Perk never appears in the show. The correct answer is Friends. Central Perk is the iconic coffee shop where Rachel worked, the gang hung out, and countless episodes took place. With its orange couch, indie musicians, and constant caffeine, it became one of the most recognizable TV locations ever, practically a seventh cast member. Missed this one? Catch today's question. Links pinned in the comments. Did you get it right? Only correct comments left before the next short is released counts toward the 7% club, so don't miss your shot to join the 7% club. Only 2% of people get this right. Who was the first gymnast to score a perfect 10 at the Olympics? Was it A, Mary Lou Retton, B, Nadia Comaneci, C, Olga Korbut, or D, Simone Biles? Comment your answer below. It's not Mary Lou Retton. She made history with her gold medal in the 1984 Olympics and became an American icon, but she wasn't the first gymnast to break the scoring system. Her fame came nearly a decade after the very first perfect 10. It's not Simone Biles. Even though she is widely considered the greatest gymnast of all time, the perfect 10 era was long before her. Her achievements happened under a completely different scoring system introduced in 2006. And it's not Think you're 7% club material? Subscribe and prove it tomorrow. And it's not Olga Korbut. She helped revolutionize gymnastics in the 1970s with daring routines and unbelievable flexibility, but she never scored the first official perfect 10. Her performances set the stage, but she didn't reach that historic milestone. The correct answer is Nadia Comaneci. At just 14 years old, she stunned the world at the 1976 Montreal Olympics by earning the first perfect 10 in Olympic gymnastics history. The scoreboard wasn't even programmed to display a 10.0. It showed 1.00 instead, because no one believed it was possible. Her performance changed the sport forever. Missed this one? Catch today's question. Links pinned in the comments. We had some great guesses this round, but if you didn't comment, it doesn't count. No comment means no recognition. Want your name in the 7% club next week? You know what to do? Only 1% of people get this right. What was Zendaya's first acting role? Was it A, Shake It Up, B, Frenemies, C, KC Undercover, or D, Blackish? Comment your answer below. It's not Blackish. By the time Zendaya appeared on major network comedies, she was already well established in film and television. This cameo came long after her Disney Channel days, so it definitely wasn't the start of her acting career. It's not KC Undercover. That show featured Zendaya as the lead and gave her a lot more creative control, but it premiered years after she had already become a recognizable Disney star. KC Undercover marked a new phase of her career, not the first. Think you're 7% club material? Subscribe and prove it tomorrow. And it's not Frenemies. While this Disney Channel movie was one of her early acting projects, it wasn't the beginning. She already had a full TV series under her belt before she ever appeared in Frenemies. The correct answer is Shake It Up. Zendaya's first acting role was playing Rocky Blue on the Disney Channel series Shake It Up, which premiered in 2010. It was the show that launched her acting career, introduced her to a global audience, and opened the doors for everything that came after, from Euphoria to blockbuster films. Missed this one? Catch today's question. Links pinned in the comments. Remember, if you don't comment your answer for the current short before the next short is released, we can't count it. So don't just think it, comment, and join the 7% Club. Let's give a round of applause to our Season 1 7% Club members. Let's also give a round of applause to our Season 1 7% Club Early Bird members. Finally, let's give a round of applause to our Season 1 7% Club Streakers members. And that's it for Week 10. How many did you get right out of these 7 daily Week 10 questions? Drop your score in the comments. Did you join our 7% Club, 7% Club Early Birds, or 7% Club Streakers? Don't forget, new quizzes drop daily on Duh What? Shorts, and we'll be back next Monday with answers, fun facts, and more shoutouts to new 7% Club members for Week 11 here on Duh What? Longs. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Take care, and don't get too mad at our quizzes for stumping you.